Starting the NFC East. I like this part, too. We look at the odds of who Vegas thinks right now is the favorite, and Vegas believes in both the Cowboys and the Eagles equally. They're both plus 145. You got the Commanders there at plus 600, the Giants at plus 700. So let's start at the Cowboys because they had 12 wins last year. They're actually projected to get more wins. So I guess these books have to talk to each other if they have the same odds to win the division title, but yet the Cowboys are at 10.5. Had 12 wins last year. They were the 3 seed in the NFC. 10.5 over/under.
I'm going under here. I'm going under. I don't see 11 or 12, and they're. I could see 10 maybe. I think realistically, kind of, as I go through it, I feel like I could see like a 9-8 football team here. Their team didn't get better this offseason. I don't where any area you can look at and go, oh, it got better. All right, so there's concerns there, right? Receivers are less than. Ezekiel Elliott is a year older. Offensive line with no Tyron Smith is not going to be as good as we want it to be. D-line, we're no Randy Gregory, and we're hoping Dante Fowler's a good guy off the edge. I like their secondary and linebackers. They're really good there. They got depth and talent, so I like that. But I don't see them being as good as last year. I don't. As much as I respect Dak Prescott and think he's a top 10 quarterback in the league, they'll be dangerous. And I know this with the Cowboys too. They're one of those teams where you think, oh, man, is their offense and defensive line going to be as good? But they're one of those teams like we talk about with the Steelers having the eye for the receiver position. The Cowboys have an eye for big people. They are very good at that to where you go, oh, I didn't – this guy down their depth chart last year, here he is a second-teamer now, and he's a damn good player. They always seem to have a few that come up the ranks where you go, oh, I didn't know much about this guy. So that's where – I don't want to count them out totally here, but I certainly don't think they're going to be as good, and I'm going under all the way.
Under on the 10.5. So I have a feeling here, and we've already talked a little bit about the rosters, excluding the quarterback last time. You're going to be high. You're going to be high on the Eagles. So they're 9.5. They had 9 wins last year. They just squeaked into the playoffs, and then once they got into the playoffs, they had wished they had not gotten into the playoffs because the Bucs just destroyed them. But it's a new year. Got some great draft picks, some big dudes up front. 9.5 for the Eagles.
Over.
Confidently over.
Yes. I think the Eagles are going to be one of the best teams in the NFC.
Wow.
Yes. I love Nick Sirianni. I like their defense. Gannon coaching that side of the ball. They got support staff of assistant coaches that I like. And then, like you're talking about, the roster's real. And, yeah, I worry about Jalen Hurts if the run game or they can't play a stock. Can he dice you up passing the ball? Yeah, sure. But there's only a few teams in football that I think I would really worry about that. And he's gotten better. I mean, I like the way he looked in the preseason. And I know he's a worker. And he's, unflappable that way. And then you look at their schedule, okay? And, again, the NFC East has got the NFC North and the AFC South, which is two pretty favorable divisions, really. But look at the first 6 games, Ahmed.
Yeah.
Is there, legitimately a team on that there right there? And, again, I know this is on paper, everybody, but there's not a team in the first 6 weeks that has the same roster as the Eagles. So I go, they have a chance here to get off to an incredible start. They really do. Their roster's better than the Lions and Vikings. I'm not even going to hesitate. It's better than the Commanders. I like the Jaguars and their young talent, but it's better than them, and they're more battle-tested. The Cardinals, okay, hey, that at Arizona, that's going to be tough. We know the Cowboys will be tough, but I still look at it and go all the way through and go, the Eagles' roster is better. I don't even second-guess it or think about it. And then the Steelers in Week 8 and the Texans in Week 9, and then the Commanders again, where I can look at this and go, they could be 9 games in, and if you told me the Eagles were 7-2, I'd go, yeah, 8-1, 7-2. I wouldn't be shocked at all. So that's where I'm a believer in them and everything on their roster and what they're doing.
It is good to look at the schedule, too, because you look at some of these divisions, and you play each team in your division twice. A lot of these divisions, you go, wow, that's a well-rounded division. Wow, that's a well-rounded division. This division, you just mentioned the Commanders and the Giants. Trying to make that next step, I don't know if they're quite there yet.
No, I know, right. So you have those teams. You have a division that, in a lot of ways, to your point, you're right, is not all that impressive. And then you have clearly the best roster, and the team that was, the biggest scare to you, like we were just talking about, the Cowboys. I'm pretty sure you agree with me. They don't look quite the same. So that's where I just look at it and go, it sets up very nice for Philly. And Sirianni, their team, what they've done with the team in the offseason, it's all been A+. So I've been very impressed with that.
Their ex-quarterback is over in Washington now.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz trying to lead the Commanders into the playoffs. Their over-under is 7.5. They were 7-10 last year. 7.5 for the Commanders.
Yeah, this is a tough one as far as like the Commanders are a team where I don't have great feel for. There is some talent. I mean, the receivers, the quarterback, the D line.
That's almost the troubling thing is they have talent, but where was the defense last year? I know there was an injury in Chase Young, but
I know the defense was
no
question about it. There's no question. And that'll be a thing to watch out. I don't love their secondary. I don't look at that. Their linebackers, I don't love that either. And then I think the other thing that scares me a little is their offensive line. So, hey, I look at it early on and, hey, can they definitely beat the Jaguars and the Lions to get going and beat 2-0? We'll see. Maybe if they can definitely go 2-0 there, and then they have a stretch of games that's pretty tough, but it gives them a chance. All right, but I think if you're going to make me choose one or the other here, I'm going to go with the under, and you are. The gun's to my head again.
It's the whole point point of doing this.
I'm going in the under.
Yeah.
Could I see them maybe going 8-9 or 9-10 or 9-8? Yeah, certainly. But I'm going to choose the under here with like the 7. I'm going to go with the 7-game win season, 7-win season.
Like you say, there are things that you like about the football team, right? The talent's there.
Yeah.
They found ways to win last year with Taylor Heineke. Maybe who knows how much he'll play. You never know if the backup quarterback will get in there. He's still around there.
Yeah,
is he the backup
is.
still?
Yeah.
But yeah,
him and Sam Howell.
All right, so you're going under there.
I am, and they're a tough one. And they are one of those teams that I would say like, put a mark next to and go, maybe they could be a surprise. And, of course, Wentz is a question, too. It's third system and 3 years here, and, there's a lot of pressure on him in this situation.
And now we get to your New York Giants. 7.5 is the over-under here. They won 4 games last year. Pete, that's the real over-under here? 7.5?
There's got to be a lot of big New York dumb money in Vegas bet on them or something.
Is that not just Pete wishful thinking here? It's just like, I think we got 7.5 in us. Yeah, Pete inflation. Yeah, Pete-flation is going on here with the Giants. 7.5. Well, that's easy. That's an easy under.
It's definitely an under. That's right. I look at it and go, man, if they're 6-11 or 7-10, it's a win. Just then things are going in the right direction. But I don't see the talent on this roster just sit here and go, oh yeah, we're back in it, Big Blue. We're 8-9. We're 9-8, and in the playoff, conversation the last 2 weeks of the season. I don't think we're there yet. No, And again, the Titans to start the year, it's the games that are like the 50-50 games where they make the difference to them. The Panthers week 2. Panthers have more talent on their team throughout. But they're unproven and young in a lot of ways, and a new quarterback. Like, can they steal that game? Can they steal a week 4 game against the Bears? Right? It's those games I look at because they're certainly, not as talented as the Titans, the Cowboys, the Packers, the Ravens. Some of the teams that got down the stretch. I do look at week 7 through 13 and just go, they can make a run there with the Jaguars, the Seahawks, the Texans, the Lions. Right? The Cowboys, the Commanders. Again, I know this is all hyperbole and we'll see, but those are all teams that, for the most part, I feel pretty confident that, are middle of the road at best to where, can the Giants steal a few of those games? Can they go on a run? And then all of a sudden we do look up and go, holy crap, I think they are going to get 8 wins this year. But I'm going with the under here. I'm a little surprised with the 7.5.
All right, under with your Giants there. So you got under for the Cowboys, over for the Eagles, under for the Commanders, under for the Giants. As we keep track here, make sure it all checks out mathematically.
Got to check out
mathematically here.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.